welcome to Kayfabe's Not Dead. We're here with CJ and the Dapper. Boys, how'd you feel about this week in wrestling?
I mean, that's pretty much. I think that's a good one-word summary.
I've never seen a more meh week.
I mean, I like Braun Strowman now a lot more than I used to.
He's the top babyface on Raw. You should love him.
I do. There's something about him now. Something that screams Attitude Era.
Well, they posted his first T-shirt on shopwwe.com this week.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, though.
It's terrible.
At least
there are monsters among us, and it's like a picture of a beard.
I mean, at least he finally has one. I mean, hasn't he been on the roster forever, the main roster?
Yeah, he's been there for about 2 years now.
That's like...
I don't think he ever actually had a match on NXT, though. He just would come out, throw somebody over the ring, and say, I'm a monster.
Oh, I mean specifically WWE.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think ever since day one, he's been on the main roster because he never actually had an NXT fight.
Oh, they just called him up right away.
Yeah.
Well, I will agree. That's probably the biggest thing. I mean, they did open up the show with Samoa Joe and Y2J, which is actually pretty cool. I thought the match was okay. I'm kind of tired of Joe ending everybody with a coquina clutch.
It is his finisher.
I mean,
come on now.
Well, I'm just saying that's literally all he's been doing to people, and I don't know. I know that he has a wide moveset because he does flashes of it. I
feel they're building it up so that when somebody finally breaks out, it's a big deal.
Well, I guess it's more like I saw him choke out Sami Zayn like 30 times.
Yeah, Sami Zayn never wins.
I was all for Samoa Joe until he, and I know this is going to hurt CJ's heart, until he fought Sami Zayn, not because he was fighting Sami Zayn, but because Sami Zayn was beating him like a redheaded stepchild.
Well, didn't they, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they fight a lot in NXT?
No,
they never.
Up till after.
Yeah, they never crossed paths.
Oh, they didn't.
No.
Because I know
he fought Nakamura a lot.
Oh, okay. So basically, the timeline, because I know Sammy, his last fight was with Nakamura. So then I guess basically, Joe took Sammy's place on the top card when he got called up.
He pretty much became like the Kevin Owens of NXT when Kevin Owens left.
Yeah, like top heel. I mean,
yeah.
I thought I was really excited about the match, and for some reason it didn't really do anything for me.
Well, because for the Hand of Destruction, he doesn't do much. I mean, like I said, Sami Zayn beat him down, and refs had to pull Sami Zayn off of Samoa Joe, who was like undefeated in TNA.
Yeah, I mean,
and he looked like he was gassed.
Jericho had the walls locked in for how long? And then Joe just breaks out of it whenever, basically at will. I mean, I guess you could argue Jericho's old and potentially hurt.
His pride.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like Jericho's just, he's going to coast to lose every match for the next 2-3 weeks, then he's done. He's going back on the Rock Tour, and he'll come back in 2 years when he needs.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's going to come back not immediately after the tour, but I wouldn't say it's going to be... I think it's going to be a lot shorter. I think it'll be like a 6 month to a year wait.
He'll come out for the Rumble as a surprise, and then stay till Mania, and then probably retire.
Or he could just literally keep doing that. Just, he wrestles from... like the best version of a part-timer. Instead of wrestling 4 times over the course of the whole year, he'll just wrestle every week for what, 4 months from January till April.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, well, I'm taking a nap then, or I'm gonna do some podcasts.
DDP yoga.
Yeah,
I was
DDP
gonna
yoga.
say DDP, and he's gonna record with his band.
So I guess moving on from the Joe and Chris Jericho fight, which like we said, Samoa Joe won via Coquina Clutch. Then we had Gallows.
The funny thing, can I just say this? I did not watch Raw, but when you told me Jericho versus Samoa Joe, I had a feeling that Samoa Joe will get beaten down and win with his finisher, and you've confirmed it. That's how stereotypical they've made Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
well,
I guess
even beyond that, it has been such a lackluster Raw.
Yeah, and that might be tainting my opinion of that match.
With just out of curiosity, let's play this game. You tell us the match, who's fighting who, and let's see if Dapper can remember or guess who won. Because I can barely remember this Raw.
Real quick, can I just chime in one thing? Did you see what was on Facebook about that one fan sending out a petition to get Braun Strowman fired for beating Roman Reigns down to a bloody pulp and flipping a...
I mean, he did basically murder Roman Reigns.
But
I mean, according to the reports.
Can I just say, that person has proven to us why the name of our podcast should be what it is.
Well, I would say that same fan
is not dead.
That same fan, I hope, submitted a police report because he witnessed Randy Orton burn another man's house to the ground, literally on TV. So I mean,
let's dial it back a few years to Mark Henry's
sexual chocolate.
Sexual chocolate.
Oh God.
He did what? He slept with his sister, hooked up with a hose from the hoe train, and
everyone hooked up with the hose from the hoe train.
I mean,
everybody does, man.
It's called the hoe train.
It's the hoe train.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's get back to the next match.
So we had Gallows and Anderson and Enzo and Cass. And
Gallows and Anderson won
by
somehow Sheamus and Cesaro get involved.
Wrong. Good guess.
Okay.
That's how Enzo and Cass always.
The finisher was actually pretty cool.
I watched this, and I don't even remember it.
I mean,
I remember Gallows and Anderson winning. I don't remember what they did. I do remember there being a great last move, but it was like after 10 minutes of a match I couldn't care about.
Well, they're heels. It has to be something that's not like clean in the center.
Well, no, it was it was definitely heelish. It was pretty brutal. I don't know,
Who killed Enzo?
Yeah, I don't know how Enzo got up after this, but he basically got power bombed into the turnbuckle, but it was kind of like legs first. So he basically got his nuts got crushed into the turnbuckle.
He jumped from the top rope, they caught him, and they just threw him back into it.
And you know, I would be very surprised if Enzo can have children now. The way it looked, I don't know how you brace yourself for that kind of thing.
I'm guessing it was a botch, and they just covered well with. We've never seen a finish like that. This is just.
I think the angle that I saw the replay on makes it look a lot worse than what it is. I think he mainly lands on like his thighs.
Well, they're the king of angles. I mean, we witnessed Shane McMahon miss an elbow drop onto a table.
It was that,
and then they changed it at WrestleMania, so it's like, oh my God, he made contact.
We'll fix it in post.
Didn't you hear the chants of the crowd at Raw? You don't got it.
All right, so then we had T.J. Perkins and Jack Gallagher. I thought the match was good, but
so did Jack Gallagher win?
I'm the only fan of.
I feel
205.
Perkins won this one, right?
Yeah, Perkins did. He started his heel turn
Because it does seem like they're giving Perkins another push.
Yeah, well,
Just the whole Neville Perkins angle.
I mean, they did all the normal Jack Gallagher spots with the headbutt and the umbrella from the top rope, which is always hilarious.
Wait, Dapper, how do you know what's going on 205 Live?
Because they played one match on Raw.
And you just absorb everything that took place.
And then eventually Perkins hit him with the detonation kick. I think that finisher is pretty dope.
It is. No lie.
But
I'll tell you this much. My favorite finisher, I don't even know what it is, but some guy in TNA does it, called the natural selection.
Charlotte's move?
No. Someone actually does it. Charlotte's little face plant doesn't count.
Well,
I think focused because we got a lot of matches.
Yeah. Neville and Austin Aries came out, and Neville came out first, and he sat down. He's just like, he didn't go to the announcer's booth or announcer's table. He went over to ringside and just sat ringside and was just chilling, hanging out. And then Austin Aries comes down and he pulls a chair and he sits right next to Double A, and
hey, let's not forget, he was happy to see him because he had that banana in his pocket.
Exactly. Of course, he had the banana in the pocket. Is it A double or double A? I think it's A double.
And it's A double because double A is Arn Anderson.
Thank you, Hodap. So basically, Neville is like, yeah, I mean, TJ Perkins, he's learning, and they're definitely setting up the whole heel turn.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot, we had the Miz TV segment. I don't know how much you guys want to get into this, but basically they're taking SmackDown and putting it on Raw, so it should be good.
Wait, what?
Not much more you can say about that.
Miz is gonna
be in the Miz. He's amazing.
Miz is feuding with Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental title, just like they were early on in SmackDown.
Okay, is that why Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton still communicate?
Yep.
I guess.
So it's like the brand split never happened.
Yeah,
when we get to SmackDown, we'll talk about it because I got questions.
Well, I thought the promos were awesome on Miz TV. It definitely had a shoot style, because Miz is ranting about how Dean Ambrose isn't doing shit since he's won the title, and then Ambrose.
All true though. I mean,
yeah, exactly. It definitely, Miz has perfected that to where like you definitely believe what he's saying.
Because
like
it's true.
Because you believe that he thinks it's the truth, and he's like definitely 100% committed to whatever's coming out of his mouth, whether he was insulting Ambrose or in his when he was feuding with Daniel Bryan with the talking smack stuff, but that they're setting up that feud. And then one of the best backstage segments happened with Braun dragging Callisto on the ground, and then he says, I don't think I'll ever forget this. He says, Roman Reigns is garbage, and so are you. And he just throws him in the garbage, the dumpster. And then the refs come and they're like, dude, you gotta stop. Except they're not gonna do anything.
Of course not.
But then Big Show shows up and basically just blindsides him into the door.
Yeah.
And he's like, pick on someone your own size, even though Big Show built his career on destroying people that are half his size. But so they set up the main event, which they had, 2 weeks before WrestleMania?
Yeah.
They did that first fight.
It was a build-up match.
I don't know why they just didn't do that at WrestleMania. But
because he was ready for Shaq.
Oh,
yeah. The match that will never happen that's been on the card for 5 years.
It happened once. They looked at each other in the ring.
So, Hodap, maybe you can fill me in on this. Then they did, Apollo, Crews, and Tozawa, they're just talking, and Tozawa's like, congrats for Crews for getting to Raw, and then he's like, oh yeah, I need to make that money for my kid, and then Titus comes out and starts talking to Crews about the Titus brand. What the F is the Titus brand?
I think, I honestly have no idea, but I do know that Titus O'Neil was picked to be like Father of the Year, and that was his like claim to fame while being in the WWE. So maybe that's what he's talking about, his brand, when Apollo Crews is like, oh, I gotta do this for my kids, and he's like, no,
well,
I'm Father.
He actually no. He's like, I'm gonna help you make that money. So we're gonna if you're
They want to jack New Day. That's all.
Well, no, he's like, oh, if people need a vacation, they're gonna think about you, and they're gonna want to go on an Apollo cruise. And but then if they have a slip and fall, then they're gonna have to get a lawyer, and they're gonna think Apollo sues. And he just keeps going on and on. So I don't know if they're trying to make Crews a cocky heel and join up with Titus or what. Jess, what do you think?
Titus is probably as lost as Darren Young at this point in terms of direction and focus. They have put him everywhere.
They've given him like a million different gimmicks.
They've given him 100 different things. This seems to be the one that's sticking. I mean, they tried to run him as a heel. They tried to run him this way, but essentially,
do you think this angle? Do you think this angle has any potential?
I think Titus O'Neil has great potential as a heel.
I think.
Well, no, teaming up with Apollo Crews.
I think
he could be like a mini Titus, like a Dane DeVito to an Arnold Schwarzenegger. They could play a twins gimmick.
What do you think, Jess?
Wrapping it up real quick, I think Titus is essentially Roman Reigns. He's an okay guy. He just needs an actual gimmick.
Do you think this team up, this potential team up, I guess, with Apollo Crews could help both of them?
It's hard for me to get behind anything Raw does, because they'll give us 17 weeks of vignettes about Emelina. Never goes anywhere. They give us 12 weeks of Darren Young's gonna be great again. Goes nowhere. They give us 14 weeks of Golden Truth. They have one match and they're buried. I mean,
so then we get I'm kind of all over the place with my notes, but
that's fine. Moving on.
They had the
Alexa Bliss,
the Fatal 4-Way to determine the #1 contender for the women's title, and Alexa Bliss won by being a cowardly heel and hiding, and Nia Jax basically destroyed everybody.
Completely unmemorable match. I know Alexa won. That was it.
Well, I liked how they did it, because it was basically Alexa Bliss running in and pinning, I think it was Mickie James.
Yeah.
Or no, she pins Sasha after a Samoan drop. Yeah, she because Nia Samoan dropped her.
Shit.
And then Bliss just came in and got the pin after throwing Nia out of the ring.
Well, I mean, Nia is 1/17th Samoan, so it makes sense.
Well,
true.
Well, Jess, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you a big Bliss fan?
I'm a Bliss fan. He's a Nia Jax fan.
I'm very torn, because I like a lot of the women in the division, but Sasha Banks, I feel, has become just unreliable. I don't think we're going to see her in the title picture anytime soon. Nia Jax definitely deserves it, but I feel they're just not going to give it to her. So who am I supposed to get behind at this point? Mickie James or
yes,
Alexa Bliss?
Mickie James.
Well, I mean, I know the couple times we watched SmackDown together, you were like, you gotta watch Alexa Bliss. So
she's a good heel.
Yeah, she's
phenomenal. But again, I don't see her having anything better to do than what she did on SmackDown, which was be amazing. So yeah, they moved her to Raw. She's going to be amazing, but I don't feel the Raw roster has any depth.
Well,
in terms of
so you agree.
So
you agree that putting Bliss automatically as the first person to fight Bayley for the title is a good thing then, from what it sounds like.
I think so, because I think they would have a great match. We've seen Sasha.
I've never
Bayley
seen it.
Over.
I've never seen Bayley Bliss, so I'm sure it's happened before, but it'll probably be great.
Come to think of it, I've never seen a Bayley Bliss. I'm sure it has happened, but in terms of, I think they need somebody new to beat Bayley. Bliss is good. She'll get it.
I can only watch the 4 Horsewomen over and over and over.
Do you guys think Bliss wins at Backlash?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because you got to have Bayley be the underdog, and if she's winning and beating like Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, Charlotte at WrestleMania to retain the title, like she's not an underdog anymore.
Yeah, I think Bayley.
Sami Zayn is the true underdog.
Well, I think Bayley could definitely do with some. I don't know if it's mic skills or just like needs to work with the writers more, because she definitely still is portraying herself as an underdog, even though she is the champion.
Yeah, she's
weird.
like, oh, my lifelong dream is to be a women's champion. Okay, well, you are. You had a WrestleMania moment. You won at WrestleMania, and you beat Charlotte, the daughter of the 16-time world champion Ric Flair. So I don't care about your little, oh my God, I have to achieve my dreams. You've done it all. It's not like there's tag matches in the women's realm that mean anything.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, she's beaten everybody who was on the Raw roster, everybody they brought over from SmackDown.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
Take over the Raw roster, and now it's just going to be a rehash of what we got.
Yeah, she's beaten all 3 Raw roster women.
Yeah.
But she hasn't faced Bayley to our knowledge.
No, she hasn't. But
so there you go. That's something we haven't seen.
And they're also like the same size, so it'd be perfect.
I think I'll probably get more hyped for it. It was just a very lackluster Raw, so it left me cold to everything.
Yeah.
It was setting up.
So then we had the Hardy Boys. They were getting interviewed, and we have the continuing saga of kind of, sort of, semi-broken Matt.
They say they're going to bring in the full-blown broken Matt Hardy soon.
They keep hinting at it, so I'm assuming they're just waiting for all the court stuff with Anthem to settle. But what I want to know from you guys is But they
also need to give him a solo gig.
How do they?
So he can be like true broken Matt Hardy.
Well, how do they introduce the Broken Universe?
They do what they did in TNA. Like they have him and Jeff Hardy.
The final deletion version 2.0.
They do a separation. No, they just do a separation where it's like they're not working well together. They lose the titles. Matt blames Jeff. And now he snaps and bam, broken Matt Hardy 2.0. Going against Brother Nero.
I think it is smart how WWE's been doing this, but Jess, what do you think?
I agree 100% with what was just said. I can offer nothing more than yes.
Well, do you know anything about the broken stuff, Jess?
Yes.
Senor Benjamin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dapper got me caught up on it. I mean, I can't say it's my favorite gimmick in the world, but I gotta say it is thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's kayfabe.
So
she's not dead.
So
it's a shoot.
So
just gonna keep name dropping that, huh?
The Hardy Boys have a promo, and then Sheamus and Cesaro, my favorite tag team, show up.
I like Sheamus and Cesaro.
And they're like, oh, well, we're obviously going to beat you guys at Payback because there's not going to be ladders involved. And they're going to, and they set up the fight that they have. And I thought it was the best match of the night. It was Matt against Cesaro.
Are the Shining Stars on Raw?
No, they're on SmackDown.
Okay. We'll get to that.
But do you want to guess how Hodap, or not guess? Do you remember how this match, or is it a guess? Do you not remember this match at all? How
the Raw match? I didn't see Raw.
Oh, you didn't?
I saw highlights on Facebook.
Okay, so Jeff Hardy beat Cesaro. So how do you think he
Twist of Fate?
Twist of Fate into a Swanton Bomb. Ding ding ding.
Well, of course he has to hit. He has to hit both finishers, the signature and the finisher, according to WWE 2K17.
Did you see the match? Do you remember the match, Jess?
I remember the match. I remember being entertained, but after how late are we now? An hour and a half, an hour 40 minutes.
Did Sheamus come out and
this
say,
was close
Jess,
towards the end of the show?
That's what I'm saying. I had faded pretty well, so I was falling asleep as I'm watching.
Well, we'll skip the Bray Wyatt stuff because it really doesn't matter.
Of course not. Bray Wyatt, he'll never win.
Yeah, there was some backstage stuff with ALICIA Fox. I can't say her name for some reason.
You mean she's moving up?
ALICIA Fox.
She's moving up from NXT 2.0, aka 205.
It was an Emelina thing. Don't worry about it. We're moving on.
Yeah. And then backstage, Emma runs into Dana Brooke. And
bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Basically, she's gonna do her own thing with or without Emma. She doesn't need Emma. Then we
she needs some coaching. She needs some backlink.
Oh
yeah. Well, that's a perfect setup right there.
Dana Brooks and Bob Backlund.
Yeah.
I feel
Bob Backlund should just come into every storyline and make it better.
Did you see the stuff with Golden Truth? I kind of skipped over that by accident.
Is Golden Truth still around?
Yes.
No, they got their ass beat in 13 seconds by Strowman.
Well, I mean, it was a backstage. Yeah, it was because they were the original people that I believe it was Anderson and Gallows were gonna fight, and then Enzo and Cass replaced.
I gotta interject this. The more I'm thinking of Bob Backlund being a part of every story, the better it's getting. Bob Backlund, damn it, Strowman, flip that ambulance.
Damn it, Strowman, that chicken wing.
And then we had the.
I don't know the chicken wing.
We had the best Raw main event ever.
Wait, is this the third time the Raw ring is broken with the Big Show?
I think so. I don't know.
Mark Henry versus the Big Show.
I mean,
Strowman versus the Big Show.
I know it's happened.
The Big Show.
I know it's happened a million times before, but anytime somebody comes out from under the ring or whenever the ring explodes, it's gonna be awesome. I mean,
you know what the best part of the Big Show getting slammed on the ring and the ring breaking? The ref bump. Every time the ref is in the center of the ring and he goes flying off the side. Every time.
Well, at the first angle they showed, it looked like he died. He just disappears.
They all die. Why do you think Earl Hebner's not there anymore? He took the first ref bump off the exploding ring.
Jess, what did you think?
The match was definitely a very slow start. I felt it was sloppy at a lot of parts, but I feel it's a phenomenal finish. The imagery, just doing that, crashing down, you can't beat that. But truth be told, I've seen better matches where the rings come down.
Do you have a favorite off the top of your head?
Ring explodes?
I want to say Lesnar's was probably the best, but
because it was the first one where it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, and that crowd reaction just you can't beat that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people were literally shitting their pants, thinking, "Oh my god, they probably just crushed El Torino and Hornswoggle, who are usually under that ring."
So any final comments on Raw, guys? Because we still got to hit SmackDown. I would say it was up and down. It was up and down.
There you go. Here's a picture of it, CJ.
Moving on.
Oh wait, we have a sponsor. Here's our sponsor. Can you hear it?
Nope.
Is it the sound of all the Darren Young fans?
It's the sound of sound of crickets. Anyway, so we move on to SmackDown, and JBL is still on the team. We should have a counter for how many days it's been. And then they had a tribute. The only time I remember this guy is from being the sidekick of the Hurricane.
Rosie?
Yeah.
Roman Reigns' cousin?
No, his brother.
Oh, is it his brother? I read the article. I thought it said his cousin.
I mean, they're all cousins, but it's his real brother.
Yeah.
You mean the Usos are lying?
Yeah, I'm gonna butcher his last name. It's Matthew Rosie Anoaʻi, something like that.
Something like that.
But unfortunately, he did pass away.
Rest in peace, Rosie.
I'm gonna have to look up some stuff on the network and see his highlights for sure. Because all I remember is him being the sidekick of Hurricane. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't really remember too much about him being I remember him being the sidekick, but it never going anywhere. But he was like a very like thuggish guy too, and like 3WB or something like that. It was like some team they had.
Yeah.
Where he was more of like a thug life guy.
And then we had Charlotte Flair open up the show.
Solid opening.
Yep.
She can definitely cut a promo.
And she's like,
trying to cut it like her father.
I deserve a title match like right now. I'm obviously the best. So.
And it's been 6 days. Where's my match?
Yeah, and so she gets it. And you know what? I can't really argue with her logic.
No.
Whole solid segment. This is SmackDown storytelling at its finest. They tell a story, they pitch it, they make it work. It sticks in your mind, the promo works for it, and they move on.
And then we have the craziest match, I think, in a while for SmackDown sake. Dolph Ziggler versus Eric Rowan versus Jinder Mahal versus Luke Harper versus Mojo Rawley versus Sami Zayn. The #1 contender 6-pack challenge match. Holy shit, that's a mouthful. I gotta say, go ahead.
I hate it because I saw what happened and I hate it.
We'll get into that.
Don't watch 205.
We can start from beginning to end, Hodap. What were you gonna say, Jess?
I feel they completely randomly chose the people to be in this match.
Well, we were talking about it pre-show. They're kind of reversing the U.S. belt and the heavyweight belt, I guess, by making the mid-carders fight for Orton's belt and have AJ Styles and Baron Corbin feuding for the U.S. title. It's kind of flip-flopped.
That being part of it, the other part just being Dolph Ziggler is back in the title picture? What?
I was kind of...
Sami Zayn, who's lost every match as of late, is back in the title picture?
You know what? If you guys will humor me, I think I could actually argue a legitimate reason why every single one of these guys deserves a shot at this very moment.
Explain to me why Jinder Mahal deserves a contract with WWE.
Okay.
Hold on. Those are fighting words. I'll get my opinion out quick. I feel the right man won this match. I thought Jinder Mahal needs to push. He has been phenomenal, and I see true championship level heel.
Why? Because he speaks 2 languages? So does every other foreigner.
You filthy Americans. He had the Bollywood boys with him. The Bollywood boys. They appeared once on 205 Live and then vanished into the night.
I actually agree with Jess.
Under that ring for weeks. Dapper, they sat under that ring for weeks so they could compute it.
They dug their way from Bollywood through the earth to the ring because they haven't been seen in like 2 years.
Ali with the Bollywood boys. Not
what do you have against Jinder? You cannot argue that his promo after this was bad. His talking smack segments were on point. He's got it. He's got the chutzpah.
Because I'm tired of the same promo that every foreigner wrestler gives. What? You don't like me? Is it because I speak 2 languages?
I think if they do that next week, then I'll agree with you. I think this promo after he won was amazing.
It was like
I just saw a lot of Razor Ramon coming off him, and I was like, "You got
this." No, Razor Ramon, and I hate to say it, and I'm just gonna die a little bit on the inside for saying this. The best version of a Razor Ramon promo was Roman Reigns when he said, "I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy." That's a Razor Ramon comment.
What? No. Ramon
I speak 2 languages. I have turban on my head. And I have big arms. That's all he said.
I think
What, you don't like me?
I think Jinder.
American Dream.
I think Jinder has a lot of potential.
He has a green card. He's not the American Dream.
I don't think anybody, say what you will about his mic skills. Maybe you can take him or leave him there, or his look. But in ring, he's pretty damn good. So if they're smart, I could definitely see them doing something with this. And I think, like you, Jess, he has great heel potential.
Let's just say this. They fired him for a reason and kept Heath Slater. They got rid of Drew Galloway, Jinder Mahal, and kept Heath Slater for a reason because he's a better wrestler. The only reason why they brought Jinder Mahal back is diversity, and now he's got a 6-pack.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that
he is easily the most in shape wrestler.
I don't
on the card.
Can you enlighten me on the history of Jinder? He was on WWE, got let go because I've only seen him since when I got back into wrestling. I don't know anything about him.
Heath Slater, and I believe it was Drew Galloway, were a part of 3M something. Yeah, it was like a 3MD or something stupid. Mm-hmm. They were a part of it where they're supposed to be like rock people, but really Heath Slater was the only rock person. Drew Galloway stood there like Eric Rowan, and Jinder Mahal just looked angry like a terrorist. That's all he was. And pretty much they lost almost every match, but they had him, Drew Galloway's, and Jinder Mahal had no personality, but Heath Slater did. So they kept Heath Slater, got rid of the other 2, and then Jinder Mahal's like, "Oh, I got to get big now because I have no personality, because I'm like stickly over here," and he pretty much just, I don't care what he says, a side effect of steroids, bitch tits, and that's what he's got.
Yeah. You're calling the man a terrorist. First off, he's Indian. Second, the only terrorist I saw in that match was Sami Zayn.
Oh my god. He's Canadian.
That was his gimmick when he was part of the Heath Slater thing. He was like he was literally the dude from the Jeff Dunham ventriloquism dummy. That was him.
Well, I think he definitely has potential. Let's see what they do. I think they're gonna run this all the way through till after Payback. They're gonna run this up maybe even through to Backlash, because they're gonna need to stall until after this House of Horrors match.
I've never seen the fans hate someone more than Roman Reigns. When he won the match, they're all like, no, because Jinder doesn't deserve it. What has he done to deserve it?
Anyway,
they were more concerned that the Bollywood boys had managed to tunnel from India into America and were screaming no in fear of mass migration. They had no feelings about Mahal winning.
I think
he has to prove himself still.
I think Dolph Ziggler could get a push. He's kind of fallen off the face of the map.
Ziggler is phenomenal. I don't want him being in the title picture. I love him as a mid-card champion.
Okay, this might make you feel better, Joe.
Yeah,
Jess.
but the world title is now the mid card title, Jess.
It is Bizarro World this week. Go figure.
You know where Jinder Mahal's from, Jess? He's not Indian. He's Canadian.
Yeah,
that's
born
in Calgary.
Both him and Sami Zayn are from Canada.
Wow, Sami Zayn radicalized in Canada and wow. See that what an American dream this man has. He left a country of maple syrup, came to America, and then
wrapped a blanket around his head, and he's never looked back since.
We're learning a lot about Dapper today.
Let me play a part and be an American. I'm gonna be the real American.
Jack Swambacker.
We gotta move on from this because essentially it boils down to we all think he's got potential. Sami Zayn's terrible. Next match.
Whoa. We'll skip Eric Rowan because he just came back. Luke Harper, he's slowly getting a push. They give him this whole 2 steps forward, 1 step back thing, but he's definitely shown a lot of
potential.
When's the last time he's cut a promo?
He hasn't in forever. Well, no, not true.
When he broke up with the Wyatts.
He cut quite a few promos, but they weren't
3 years ago.
Talking to light bulbs is not a thing.
Yeah. Mojo Rawley,
you know how to wrestle.
He's getting a push because apparently he's best friends with Gronk, and McMahon loves that apparently.
Yeah.
He's got some good in-ring stuff. I can't remember the last time he's ever been on the mic.
Mojo Rawley?
Yeah.
He's not getting a push. He's getting the death push from McMahon, because if you win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal,
you get buried.
Your career dies.
Well,
yeah, Baron Corbin, man, he was the main event. He won it a year ago.
And Cesaro,
it took a year.
He's kind of getting a push. He keeps
Cesaro's took 3 years.
Yeah, it took a while.
And Big Show's getting beat by everybody.
And then my boy Sami Zayn, he was the last guy. Jinder Mahal wins via pinfall, and then he cuts a crazy promo, and it's pretty baller.
Moving on.
Then we get, let's see, the Bollywood boys. They're pretty hilarious. We get a brief.
They were the best gimmick on 205. They appeared once and back.
we get a little video package.
They came back.
We get a video package teasing New Day. I don't know why they haven't actually come out yet.
Injuries and sex scandals. Moving on.
That's the name of Jess's book.
Injuries and sex scandals. Yes.
I'll make sure to write the foreword for it.
If you saw my body during the 5 seconds I was shirtless on camera, you know that is exactly the name of my book.
I'll write the foreword.
So
I'll sign it, Bob Backlund.
We get the
thank you, Coach.
We get the Naomi Charlotte Flair match, and Flair wins, I believe, via a natural selection. Yes. And it was a good match.
Solid. It's a good match. 100%.
I think Flair was definitely carrying Naomi. She's still a little green in the ring, if you know.
Injured.
Get the pun.
Oh, I see what you did there. But I was gonna say, I believe she actually does have a minor injury, which they're trying to cover.
That wouldn't be too surprising. Do you think Asuka or Ember Moon get called up soon? Obviously, it would be Asuka.
I think Asuka would, and I think that would be great, because isn't Asuka undefeated?
She's very close to Goldberg's record.
So pretty much they're going to bring Asuka to the main roster just to get beat by some jabroni, and they're going to ruin her like they do everyone else.
I'm thinking she'll come up and blindside Charlotte, and then we'll get a babyface version of Charlotte for a brief.
So Asuka goes to SmackDown.
Is my guess.
Now, when? After she breaks Goldberg's record? Is it going to be like a year from now?
What is Asuka's record?
I was gonna say SummerSlam, but I was thinking maybe Night of Champions. But then I was like, she could honestly pop up whenever they want.
I would assume it's going to be, like, she's gonna end the streak somewhere after NXT. Where is SummerSlam? Houston? Where the NXT takeover at SummerSlam, it wouldn't shock me if she vacates the belt. And then they just drop her in. It would have been a perfect time to do it at WrestleMania, but
Asuka's record's 156-3. She's lost 3 times on NXT.
When?
Wow.
No, but weren't they not by pinfall?
Well, they have 3 draws and 3 losses. So I don't know.
It doesn't tell you. Oh, it doesn't give you the details for the losses.
No, but NXT she's won 156 times.
Tell us in the comments.
On WWE, she's 8-0 on WWE. So I'm assuming she does dark matches.
Yeah. So yeah, Charlotte Flair is the #1 contender. I'm assuming they're not going to wait till Backlash.
No, I don't think they are either. I think Charlotte gets the belt next week, and we move forward from there.
Then we got the artist formerly known as the Shining Stars versus American Alpha.
I kind of like the new Shining Stars. Now that they got rid of the pamphlets, and now they're wearing jeans and beating up the Olympians, I'm like, oh, now they got attitude. Before they were just gimmicks.
I do have to say, I feel like they're 2 old dads that just decided to start wrestling. Like, they got the beer gut, they are slightly out of shape, and they are just like, yeah, I can wrestle.
Then we had Kevin Owens. I mean, I don't really know what to say for this match. It was okay.
Well, I think you need to finish announcing the match.
Yeah, who did he fight?
Kevin Owens fought, well...
No. I was talking about Shining Stars. I'm sorry. Did you guys have anything to say? It was only 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
No.
We're done.
Yeah.
I mean, are you guys excited about Shining Stars? I don't know anything about them.
They need to change their name, that's for sure.
I don't think they're actually being called the Shining Stars because I think they were introed as Primo and Epico.
Okay.
But they're the former Shining Stars.
They should be the new primetime players.
Okay, are we going explicit?
Yeah.
Okay, fuck you, Dapper.
I have no comment.
This is our uncensored version, apparently.
Then we had
4-letter words.
the new the Canadian new face of America, Kevin Owens, versus some jobber named Gary Gandy who had an outrageous beer gut.
Oh yeah, he got like a mud hole stomped in.
Yeah, he got destroyed in 30 seconds.
Kentucky.
Kevin Owens apparently learned something from Goldberg.
Yes. Finish strong, finish fast.
And then he jumps on the commentary right after his match, and he just basically him and JBL keep declare like if we ever need to get drunk, we just need to rewind that. So during the match, from when he's announced to when he leaves the announcing table, count how many times they say the face of America. And the ramp, the on-ramp footage of the effects is just a giant picture of his face. And he has a new intro. It's all red, white, and blue. They're going all in on this face of America.
Yeah.
And
I do like that he shaved his beard a little bit, so he does look like me.
And it's an open challenge, so in theory anybody could fight him. I would assume at any time.
Hey, I do have tickets to SummerSlam Heatwave Tour. I might take him up on that challenge.
Well, Jess, what do you think of the face turn for Kevin Owens?
Is this a face turn?
I just meant that literally.
Oh,
it was a pun, a terrible pun.
Terrible, absolutely. Confused me both mentally, physically, and sexually with this. But Kevin Owens is a guy. He is phenomenal with whatever you give him. But like everything on Raw, he just kind of withered. He didn't seem like he had anywhere to grow, any way to be himself. So him coming to SmackDown and busting out everything brand new and shiny and just bringing the energy back, I think is phenomenal. And I'm really interested to see where he goes with it.
Festival of Friendships 2.0.
Exactly.
Well, that brings us to the main event, which was AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin.
Before we wrap up with this match, did anybody notice anything missing from SmackDown this week?
Kalisto. He's in the Raw trash can.
Yeah, he's never coming back.
Perhaps something to do with the violin?
Oh yeah, Shinsuke, he had a little promo, and it was so forgettable that I totally forgot to even talk about it.
What was that? He started building this guy, Nope.
He hasn't had a match yet.
This is what I find ridiculous.
Hey, Eva Marie never had a match.
We also had a dancing Lana.
Her wardrobe malfunction prevented her from having a fair and honest match. We both know she had that one in the bag.
And then we also had a Ty Dillinger interview where he basically just cuts to a pre-taped promo video package. So, yeah, all three of those.
He's going back to NXT this week to fight, though.
I think he was just going to finish up. I think it's like his last match or second to last match.
Yeah.
Some sort of
But the funny thing is he's like the longest person in NXT. He was there before Charlotte, Sami Zayn, all of them.
I need to get caught up because I do not understand this 10 gimmick at all. Like, I just see people they just like doing that.
He had like stupid gimmicks. Like there was one where he had like a deck of cards, and he'd be like, "Wait, don't hit me, ace," and you're like, "a 10." Like he would just throw random cards at people, and they're like, "What are you doing?" It made no sense.
This is when when NXT had their run of performance art gimmicks. Because what's the name of the dude that's singing now?
Aiden English.
Yeah, like he's come back since his tag partner got fired. So now he's
let go. He quit.
Came to a mutual understanding and parted ways.
So he quit because he was about to get fired.
Perhaps.
We're not here to report hearsay, Jess. We'll just.
Well, I'm using the exact language, and Dapper's out there saying, "Fired, use steroids, was getting high with hookers."
Think I think
about
you are overstepping your bounds, Jess.
Look, I am just.
Hey,
you know,
I know what
sorry,
Jinder Mahal says,
I cried.
but the facts are facts. A side effect of steroids are bitch tits. The Rock knew it. The Rock had surgery for it. Jinder Mahal Jinder Mahal did not have bitch tits.
Dapper, I hope
his second run.
I hope you're excited to answer all of the comments that are going to come your way about this, because
all 6 of them from Jess.
I think you're going to start an internet flame war on our first episode, Hodap.
How do you expect to get fans, CJ?
I mean, I'm just saying, you're going to have to hop on Twitter and let everybody know.
I will. Fans that want to hear the main event, and then we can cut audio and continue on from there.
Well, we had AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin for the, I think it was for the number one No, they already said the number one contender.
Number one contender.
This is just, I'm going to fight you. And Corbin's like, yeah, I'm gonna beat you up.
It's because Baron Corbin threw Kalisto into the furnace, and so he has no Kalisto to fight anymore. And Dean Ambrose is somewhere else, so there's no Dean Ambrose anymore. So I just got to fight somebody else now who's smaller.
And I thought it was a pretty good match.
Yeah, anything Styles is involved with has been great. Corbin, I felt, needs a win though. I mean, he beat Ambrose, but his big problem is he's winning matches when they don't count, and when they do count, He's losing. He's becoming Bray Wyatt.
See, I value
Yes.
I value people that can talk, can go on the mic, and Baron Corbin barely does any of that, so it's really hard for me to get into him, and
you have no idea what he's about.
I figured he'd still be on the mid card, but apparently they're really trying to push him. I mean, his finishers are awesome. His finishers
He's over
awesome.
6 foot. That's the only reason why they're pushing him.
And you can't teach that.
Yeah.
We need to cut that. Anyway, so
Stacy, cut that in post.
Styles, I believe he wins with a phenomenal forearm.
As he should.
No. I'm sorry. No, it was actually count out.
Was it?
Yeah, it was count out. He hit the phenomenal forearm, right?
That's the thing about Styles, is he'll hit 2 or 3 different finishers, and then finally something will work. But this was a count out, and
yeah, he basically throws Corbin into Kevin Owens.
Yep.
And Kevin Owens is not happy, and I guess Corbin was knocked out, so he gets counted out. Well, I guess they were already at, like, what, 7?
Correct.
Yeah.
And then AJ just, like, hauls ass into the ring right after everybody takes the crash. Nobody went through...
Chin Music grabbed him by the legs from underneath the ring.
Well, nobody went through the Spanish announcers table. It was just to the side of the table.
So disappointing. That table should be broken twice a week.
I mean, I think we can definitely wrap up the podcast with
it's
saying...
hard to get to the Spanish announce table with that wall in the way now.
Oh my god.
Wow,
I think we can wrap up this first episode, though. How excited are you for AJ Styles and Kevin Owens?
I'm pretty excited for that.
I mean, they're probably gonna take this all the way up to Backlash. Do you think this lasts all the way through to SummerSlam? Whether the belt exchanges hands or not?
I know it won't, but I hope so, because I think they'll put on a great match every time, and it's not going to be something to where you have one guy carrying the other, so after like the 4th time you see them together, you're like, oh my god, get on with it.
Well, I think AJ's the one guy, one of the few guys that could legitimately out wrestle KO. So, it'll be interesting to see how they mix it up and adapt to each other, because AJ can literally do anything in the ring, and KO, he definitely has that monster power, that kind of, like, he, especially now that he's a mega heel, he kind of is with that Samoa Joe style of he's going for the throat. Like, once he's in that ring, he's not going to let up until you're knocked out.
Yeah. He's what Samoa Joe should have been.
That feud is going to be amazing. And AJ's going to win eventually. I don't think there's any way that... But it wouldn't surprise me if the feud goes all the way through till SummerSlam.
I hope so.
I feel SmackDown's quicker with the storytelling, though.
What happens to Corbin?
He dies in a gutter like Kalisto.
Corbin, I mean, it's the same thing that always happens. He's Dolph Ziggler, but 6 feet tall. He's gonna stay in the title picture till they need him to get a win.
Well, who do you think Corbin feuds with next? I'm gonna say it would be Sami Zayn. If they really want to build him up. He always picks on the little person. Well, he always picks on someone smaller. Well, I think they've been trying to push Corbin by using the top baby faces to build him up. I mean, I don't know. Well, John Cena is the top baby face on SmackDown, but you could probably argue that Dean Ambrose was the second. So they were using Dean Ambrose to kind of build him up, and now you got probably the biggest normal baby face in Sami Zayn.
You know what I think they should do?
Shinsuke, but I feel he's going to go to Ziggler first.
He's going to Ziggler, I think, till Backlash.
Yeah. I think they should have Baron Corbin go up against the other part of the Lucha Dragons.
Or is he going to keep feuding?
Not Kalisto, Sin Cara.
Yes, I think Sin Cara's on SmackDown.
Have Kalisto come out from the dumpster as like a young Rey Mysterio and just take him out, reform the Lucha Dragons, and then leave Baron Corbin in the company.
Apparently, they didn't want the Lucha Dragons to.
That has not stopped Bray Wyatt for talking to Randy Orton, and that has not stopped anything. Apparently, we just do whatever we want. The draft was only meant because all the brand split is the draft all over again. The draft lasted every year, and they redid the draft come WrestleMania right after.
Well, it's been about a year since the last draft, right?
Yeah, they do it every time. They just repackage the same old gimmick. Hence, when me and Jess went to NXT, we saw how many redo gimmicks, Jess?
I don't think we saw an original.
Well, I mean,
everybody was a rehash of somebody else.
I think you also have to acknowledge that 99
inner Nia Jax in NXT right now.
Well, 99% of the time, WWE is going to stick to the heel versus face kind of storyline.
Yeah, but we don't need 6 Nia Jaxes. We don't need another UFC girl. We have Brock Lesnar. We don't need another one.
Dad, maybe you don't need 6 Nia Jaxes, but I'm a little more creative in the bedroom. I need them.
Well, okay, so...
Not even Casper Mattress can hold that.
Would you say because Raw kept Nia Jax, they won? So who won the... if you had to go by...
Who won the draft?
SmackDown.
Well, the shakeup. The shakeup.
SmackDown.
If we're going by these very early impressions, we've only had one show. 2 shows.
Raw won the first draft. SmackDown won the shakeup. You got Charlotte. You got AJ.
That noise isn't me.
So.
That's CJ's chair.
Okay.
You got Charlotte. You got AJ. You got Naomi. You got like decent girls on SmackDown. Decent guys on SmackDown. You got like nothing on Raw.
Well, I think the argument could be made that Raw has the top main card.
Corbin? Or no, Braun Strowman?
Yeah, they have the biggest babyface on Raw right
Brock Lesnar. I mean, if
Big Show.
Brock Lesnar shows
Roman
up
Reigns.
once a month. Brock Lesnar's going to wrestle once a month, so really he's not on Raw.
They have the Hardys.
Technically on Raw, he's really not. He's on pay-per-views.
I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate because I agree with you guys. SmackDown obviously won, but the only thing I was disappointed in was I really thought that the club could have went to SmackDown because I think SmackDown's tag division needs a lot of help.
Who do they have?
That's why they got Primo and Epico.
Yeah, and they have the New Day. They got
Zongo.
And the New Day.
Yeah, but the New Day was kind of like a dying gimmick.
Well, they're gonna get there. I think the assumption is gonna be they're gonna get revitalized because they're automatically gonna win the SmackDown titles. I don't think that's for debate.
I couldn't even tell you who is SmackDown champ. Is it still Thug Usos?
It's the Usos. They just won it last week.
Yeah.
Alpha?
They beat American Alpha. I actually like the Usos.
I do too.
I enjoy Thug Uso. I think it's a great look, and I think they're pulling it off well.
So, yeah, I think
all
the
they
SmackDown
are Primo and Epico, but Samoan instead of Puerto Rican.
Well, speaking of Primo and Epico, I mean, why did they take away the Matador gimmick?
Because it was kind of racist, and it wasn't good to have a little midget in a bull costume getting thrown across.
You get rid of the bull. You let them do their thing.
But the bull was the best part of the gimmick. El Torito. He had a Wii chairs, ladders, and tables match with Hornswoggle, where he threw him through a little mini table and off a step ladder.
Sounds adorable.
It was. They had 3 matches. Their ladder was a step ladder.
So, do we all think that SmackDown had a better show this week?
I concur.
The
doctor has spoken.
regardless of where I feel the best superstars went, SmackDown has the best writers. They're tight. The story is
Yeah,
just
but we had
boom,
an
boom,
exploding
boom.
ring on Raw, and Braun
But then you
Strowman.
had
And Jinder
5 fascinating minutes in a 3-hour show.
Yeah. Do you think,
We
Jess, do you think
Yes.
Raw would benefit greatly by only being 2 hours?
Yes. Yes. Make that third hour optional like SmackDown did with 205.
I believe they need to do the first 2 hours as standard, and then I think they need to do that last hour as a little bit more teen-oriented.
What they
Go
should do is
on.
make Raw 2 hours.
like you're saying,
And then
like
have
go TV 14.
Correct. The big problem I'm having is I'm staying up for these main events where it's, okay, they're not doing anything different than the last 2.5 hours. In fact, they're often wind down or just, they're going an extra 20 minutes.
You know what?
Just because.
I think I have one solution for you, and I think it's gonna
Even talking about it, I'm losing.
Make a 305. Make a 305 for Raw's third hour, and have everybody over 205 pounds but under 305 wrestle.
How about you just do this? You give Kurt Angle more things to do. he gets made the GM, and he's basically only cut one promo per episode. He should be involved in everything. I'm assuming it's because the writers are still easing in to writing for him and like figuring out what direction they want to give him and whether they want him to actually wrestle. And then they also
there's rumors he's gonna wrestle.
And they got to pass the physical. Yeah. And then they also got the broken stuff. I think that those two things would automatically make Raw. It would make Raw's overall storylines a lot more interesting, I think.
What if later down the line when he passes the physical, he shows that he's clean and everything, you get a revitalization Shane versus Kurt Angle?
What's the over-under on real plexiglass windows being broken? I'm gonna say 2,000.
All of them. Everyone that WWE can get their hands on.
I still can't believe Shane didn't jump off of the inflated ring that was on top of the real ring. He should have jumped off of that onto the table.
They mentioned that in other podcasts, like JR's podcast. They've mentioned that he's like, "Oh, I was expecting him to jump off that ring."
I mean, it
like,
would make
that
sense.
Would kill him.
I mean, that would be the ultimate spot for the ultimate thrill ride. Am I right?
Luck, yes, in his luck, he'd still miss the damn table.
He botches one move.
It was like a week before WrestleMania, man.
He botched not just one move, the move.
I think there's a
move
camera
that was concluding their video package of him before WrestleMania.
I think there was actually a camera angle that shows that he kind of hit like AJ's like leg.
Hair?
Like
his hair?
He wasn't that close, but I would say SmackDown won. I heard NXT's been amazing, so I'm going to try to catch up with that.
Actually, I was going to say, that's something I wanted to bring up, is I feel 205, how much better would it be if, rather than that, you got an NXT match? And rather than just, okay, the belt exchanges are only going to happen on 205. Nope, not really. They're just going to be on the pay-per-view.
Well, I think
got NXT to replace it. That way, people who don't watch NXT aren't in shock and awe when somebody gets called up.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but they tape everything for NXT except for the pay-per-views. So I agree.
Yeah.
I think NXT does. I think NXT is good enough to be live, but
NXT should be that third hour of Raw, like 205 is of SmackDown.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like that should.
I thought you meant just like take the place of 205.
Yeah.
Well, that too.
That's what we're saying.
Yes, that too. But
NXT's 2 hours right now.
It's like an hour, I think.
Is it an hour?
Yeah, I think it's just an hour.
Well,
Yeah.
I think, business-wise, WWE wants to spread the content out for as many days as possible. But I would say NXT should go live, and they should be doing a simulcast like they do with 205 on the network.
I mean, that's all 205 is the NXT brand split.
I've only seen the Orlando takeover, and holy shit, it was amazing. And I've seen like some fights, like a couple Samoa Joe.
I've been to a couple of them. They're really cool. NXT. What I like about NXT is it has the old school feel of like a dark room where you can't see the audience. You can't unless the camera's panned to them, and you just focus on the match. And it's just, I feel it's more hardcore. It's more bare knuckle brawling, unless I'm going to come out on an ice cream cart passing out ice creams that don't exist.
I think they actually do exist.
They will by next WrestleMania. Right now they're just a box with a t-shirt in it like the cereal was.
Well, what's weirding me out is they're painting out something wrapped in tinfoil that's coming from the freezer.
A taco.
Probably. Alright. I'm cashing out. You done recording?
Well, I was gonna say, do you guys have anything else you want to hit on before we call it?
I wanted to see.
Roman Reigns needs to return as the Undertaker. Give us take
No.
Reigns.
That would be amazing if they actually had the balls to do it. But I think the Undertaker would show up and legitimately kill Vince and Roman if they actually did that. Well, I'm gonna stop, and that was the end of episode 1 for Kayfabe's Not Dead. Hopefully you guys liked it.